Notice: the makers of Adver-tainment do not condone roundhouse kicks to the head, wanton bloodletting, or pushing persons from heights in excess of 10 stories. Unless, of course, it's in self-defense.
Hi everyone, and welcome to Adver-tainment. Now, for the most part, I'm a pretty happy guy, but like anyone else, I do have my moments where I can get pretty frustrated, pretty angry. You know, like if I'm trying to film something and after 14 takes of messing up, I feel like this is finally the one, and the phone rings.
Who's on the back?
Damn it! Who the fuck? But really, who likes getting interrupted when they're trying to get something done? I mean, that's a surefire way to make me... Does this sort of thing happen to anyone else? Alright, let's see who this is. Who are you? I'm player 2. Didn't you see the versus screen? No, I mean, who are you? Do you have a backstory or anything? Not really. I mean, every fighting game has their similar characters, so I guess I'm yours. You know, like Sub-Zero and Scorpion, Hanzo and Fuma, Ken and Ryu. No, you're like the Dan to my Ryu. Now, can you just keep quiet? I'm trying to do a show here. Then I can dig it. We grew up during the times when video game companies were being taken to court over alleged horrific amounts of violence. But we didn't grow up to be vigilantes. I mean, unless you count internet trolls. Fighting games were so much fun because you got to fight your way through waves of bad guys, pick up neat weapons and power-ups, defeat huge level bosses, and it's all in an attempt to save your daughter or girlfriend or Madonna? Yeah, that's kinda weird. There were a lot of great beat-em-ups though. I'm sure everyone remembers their first Streets of Rage or Double Dragon experience. Things would only get better from there. Oh, for sure. After the misstep that was Double Dragon 3, the Lee brothers returned in one of my favorite beat-em-ups of all time, Super Double Dragon. The NES had some pretty good fighting games, but it was the Super Nintendo where the genre really hit its stride with top-notch arcade ports like Captain Commando, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 4, and, of course, Final Fight. The Final Fight series was awesome. Granted, they kinda screwed the first one up by making it one player only, but the second and third iterations more than made up for that aspect. And it was great because you got your choice between 3 separate characters with their own movesets. Having choice is a great thing. You had your standard character, who was moderately quick and tough.
I'm Cody. The Mad Gear gang has taken my girlfriend. I'm gonna get her back.
You know, you might be running in the wrong circles if your girlfriend gets kidnapped and you feel it's your own personal responsibility to single-handedly murder an entire gang with your bare hands. The worst part is that it happened twice.
I find it hard to believe that these fools actually got to Jessica again.
I can believe it. I mean, you can't be everywhere at once. That's why it's good to have friends.
God, I'll take you through the slums. It's no place to be alone.
It's nice to have an orange-clad ninja who's willing to walk you home. Guy is your typical quick but weak type, something that I can personally relate to. But if I can pound you into submission before you can even land a hit, that's definitely who I'm going with.
They'll kill you 5 times before you hit the ground.
Well, that's all well and good, but you don't chop down a mountain with a knife. You go with dynamite.
I'm Metro City's mayor, Mike Hagar. I'll stop at nothing to get my daughter back.
He'll do it, too. Nobody can stop Hagar. I mean, I saw this picture on the internet where he was giving a pile driver to a shark. In fact, just thinking about Hagar makes you manlier by the second. Do you have proof to back that claim up? Do you need any more proof? I was just never really that big a fan of Hagar, to be honest. I mean, sure, he's a 7-foot-tall ex-mayor, ex-wrestler, current street fighter, but I always just felt he was too big and too slow. And what was with the biker shorts and the 3-foot-long ponytail he had in Final Fight 3? Did that game take place during his midlife crisis or something? And above all, he never looked the way that he did in the comics.
The back opens for more great comics.
You see, he looks nothing like that in the games. They could at least give him the Viking helmet. You're an idiot. And you're not a very nice co-host. I didn't let you stay here on my show to listen to how you'd suck Mike Hagar's...
Cut the chit-chat, Thrasher. Your days are numbered.
Ho ho ho! You just got told! Okay, let's just move on then. It's time for our feature presentation.
I'm Martha Splatterhead, renegade cyborg and fabulous babe. I bailed on the military and have come to take over all the gangs in New York City. Not even my old buddies, the combat tribes, can stop me now.
Don't count on it, Splatterhead. Just because you were once part of the unit doesn't mean Belova, Blitz, and I will show mercy on you and your boot-licking gangs.
Why, Berserker, you wouldn't hit a lady, would you?
Cyborgs ain't ladies.
Beat-em-ups are a really fun genre that, due to their simple controls, are easy for anyone to just pick up and play. However, I prefer the beat-em-up's more sophisticated brother, the tournament fighter. Special attacks, combos, and large detailed fighters. Tournament fighters were, and still are, a great genre. Oh, for sure. And there were so many good ones that it seemed like everybody had their favorites. I was a Street Fighter kid, to be honest, especially when the Alpha series came out. Yeah, they were pretty good, but I really liked when the series paired up with X-Men Children of the Atom to produce another great line of games, the Versus series, starting with X-Men vs. Street Fighter, and still running today with Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Yeah, but sadly, there were a dozen bad games for every good one, or at least a dozen that tried to capitalize on the success of another. You're probably familiar with the Street Fighter comic with the Mortal Kombat ad on the back, but unless you actually read this thing through, you probably didn't know that there was a Clay Fighter ad on the inside. Oh, well, they're all just video games, so, it doesn't matter that they're competing companies, just put them in that funny book. You think that's bad? There were a lot of companies that tried to capitalize on Street Fighter's success. Take a look at this ad from Eternal Champions. Use Street Fighter as your training wheels. Right. You think that's bad? Check out the tagline for Raging Fighter. Hit the streets fighting. You think that's bad? How about we take what was originally a Ranma 1/2 game, replace all the characters with generic nobodies, and rip off Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat? Well, then you'd have Street Combat, wouldn't you? You think that's bad? At least that game had screenshots, which is more than you can say for deadly moves. Like, hey guys, maybe you should actually have a game before you start advertising it? You think that's bad? Ah! It really is that bad! The only good thing I can say about Shaq Fu is at least it looks better than Final Fight Revenge. Did you ever play that piece of crap? Look how blocky everyone looks, like, hey, look at me, I'm Mike Hagar, and I'm gonna cut you with my sharp polygon arms. That's it! I've had enough of your Hagar bashing. I challenge you to a duel, sir. Choose your weapons. Anyone who opposes me will be destroyed. Name your game, tough guy. I don't know. What do you want to play? If only there was a fair way to decide, like the random button on the character's select screen. That's a great idea! Give us a minute, folks. Alright, so we wrote down a bunch of fighting games and put them all into a hat. As you can see, there's Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, King of Fighters, Fatal Fury, X-Men Mutant Academy, King of the Monsters, Art of Fighting. Oh no.
Locked into it.
And that's how it's done, folks. Come back next time when I talk about, what's the next episode about again? It's about Marvel Comics. Right. See you next time.